Hey, welcome back to X's and O's. I'm Jeff Harrison.
I'm Leslie Spoor.
And we're working on some pretty neat stuff here. It's called lack of sleep. Leslie is just been going and going. But you said something before we went on camera about how you have really buckled down on something. And it was about that newsletter. Tell me about that newsletter. How important is that in your business?
Oh, I think it's really important. For years and years and years, like forever, we did it once a month, just for the one company. And then I hit a wall. We were having some transitional growing pains in the company, and nothing bad. It was all good, but it still takes you a while to regroup and reorganize. And I kind of lost my inspiration to write for a while. So I didn't one every quarter or something for a bit. And then all of a sudden now we're doing one a week. One week it's executive variance, 1 week it's Concierge Business Solutions, so they leapfrog every week. And doing this program helps keep me inspired to do the Concierge Business Solutions one, because I take the topic that we talk here and take one piece of it and expand on it in the newsletter.
Well, I'm just curious now that you've gotten back to doing these on a consistent basis, have you noticed any effect on your business from a referral basis, or just staying in touch with them differently? Like, because I know your newsletters, I get them and I really enjoy them, and they're really not selling me anything. It's giving me bits of information that could be helpful for me. So it keeps, for me, and I'm sure it's for everybody else, is it keeps you top of mind.
Exactly. That's the biggest purpose of a newsletter, is to keep you in front of your potential clients. Right? But this last one that came out on Tuesday, I had a client email for some service that they had forgotten to ask for. I've also received calls for consulting and mentoring from people. And so I'm going to get emails constantly now for support on, I'm writing a proposal, or I'm overwhelmed, or what do you do in the case of something? And so we're helping people a lot. And I think the newsletter is helping with that, because it keeps us in front of each of you so that you can remember to use us.
Yeah, I think that's very important. So that's a huge takeaway. We haven't begun the show yet.
Your newsletter.
Leslie, when it comes down to X's and O's, for those people who may just be seeing for the first time, what's the reason for the show? I mean, what's the reason you do this, and what's the benefit for those people watching?
Well, the biggest reason that I wanted to do this is so that I can try to help as many other small business owners as possible. And this gives us a forum in which to help people and not charge them to do it, right? So we're giving them all kinds of, really a lot of content every single week, right? We're giving you 4 or 5 strong, solid hits for running your business in all kinds of areas. And that makes me happy. Right? I get feedback on Facebook too, or email, that says this was so helpful, and that really makes my day. I love that.
That's cool. Well, some people like you are authors. They write books, and it's always nice to get that feedback of, like, somebody bumps into you never met and said, "Wow, that information gave me a difference."
That's very true. I was at an expo once years ago for the chamber. And somebody came up to me and they said, "I get your newsletter and I absolutely love it." I had no idea who that person was. I must have met him, because I only add people to the newsletter who I meet and get their cards, or who join themselves. But I didn't know who this person was, but I get that feedback a lot. People love the newsletters.
Yeah. Some people say, and then we'll get into today's topic, some people think newsletters are dead. And that is so not true. That's such a great way to keep in touch with your audience. And again, like you said, or we said, it's keeping you top of mind without any sales going on. No sales. It's just a reminder. Like you said, you sent it out and you got 2, 3, 4 pieces of activity from that. So speaking of activity, what is our topic today? What golden nugget, what big thing are you going to share with us today?
Well, today the topic is called "Throw Me a Life Preserver."
Perfect.
And it's about, are you drowning in your business? Because we all encounter a state of overwhelm at some point in time. Every business owner does, sometimes multiple times.
Not enough hours a day to get everything done.
There's not, believe me, there's not. So we want to talk about how to combat overwhelm. And there's lots of ways to do that, but I'm going to give you 5 little ideas today to help you make sure that you're not drowning in your business.
Leslie's top 5 tips for overwhelm. for not drowning in your business.
That's right.
Here we go.
Okay, so the first one I want to give you is to calendar all your appointments.
Oh, okay.
That sounds logical, but you'd be surprised how many people don't calendar their appointments. And I'm not talking about I've got a meeting, a lunch meeting with so-and-so to talk about my business. I'm talking about I need to go meet with my coach today. I need to go to the gym. I need to take...
Wait a second. Isn't that stuff supposed to be secondary?
No, that's all important.
Oh, it's important.
Right.
Oh.
I need to take my grandkids out for something. You know, everything you do needs to be on your calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And in the old days, we did to-do lists, and I've actually been a huge advocate for to-do lists over time, because there's a psychological benefit to crossing things off when you do them. But what I found as being an entrepreneur myself is that it's far more effective and time-saving to put everything on your calendar. Because if it's on the calendar, you treat it with reverence, and you will follow through on it. If it's not on the calendar, and so I need to go do this, there's a big chance, a high probability that you won't do it. It'll get set aside for something else. So you need to put it on your calendar. I have a standing Tuesday, 12:30 meeting with my coach every week, and I haven't missed it in 4 years.
You schedule everything else around it.
I do, because it's on my calendar as a meeting I have to attend. So psychologically, I treat it just as with as much importance as a networking meeting or a new client meeting, right? So you need to put everything on your calendar.
Okay, so calendar, what you call it? Calendar all your appointments. Okay, good.
Yeah, and make sure, you know what, and don't forget to put in downtime. Also,
Okay.
it is perfectly okay, and in fact encouraged to schedule out blocks of time where there's nothing in it. Okay, this is my me time.
Well, that whole thing that calendar all your appointments, will it also help you become more efficient with your time?
You are, yeah, absolutely. Because your mind knows, okay, one of the things, the contributing factors to overwhelm is that your mind is full of clutter. Right? So if you take everything in your brain out and you put it on a calendar, now your brain knows that you won't forget to do anything, because the clutter is there to help you not forget. And so, short of tying a ribbon around your finger, you want to make sure that you take all that out of your head and put it in a place where you know for sure it's there.
Yeah, I have to commend my wife for that. She has that appointment book, because the business is what it is. And I've seen it before, and everything, personal, business, everything is in that book. And I've had her times somebody will call and we'll be someplace and you just say, well, I don't have my appointment book. I can't tell you for sure. But then as soon as she gets home or gets back to her appointment book, she's right on track. But she puts everything in. She's done it for 30 years.
And she's doing a manual appointment book, but there's plenty of online resources. Your phone has a calendar app. You can put it right in there. I happen to use Outlook and Google Calendar. Mm-hmm. So I'm a huge Outlook fan. So everything syncs together, and I can look at my calendar, and I do them in different colors. Mm-hmm. So client appointments or networking appointments are in one color, personal appointments are in another color, downtime is in another color, so I can glance through it and see whether I have any discretionary time left in the week or not.
Powerful, powerful message. So what's our next one?
The next one is to delegate anything that doesn't further your goals. All of us are busy. That's the big buzzword. I'm too busy. Okay, busy. Okay, but a lot of us are busy doing things that are not value added for the objectives that we've set for our companies. That's a key, because everything you do every single day should be furthering yourself down the path to complete the objectives. If it's not, then you need to not be doing it.
So is that whole process become like a filter?
Yes.
So it allows you to say yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you set a goal that says, I'm going to write 3 articles a month for the chamber, and you put it on your calendar to do that, and you get caught up doing some other task, and it doesn't help you get those 3 articles written, then you need to not be doing that task. Right? Because you're wasting your time and you're creating overwhelm, because that task to write is sitting there hanging over you. Right?
Yeah, I kind of think so. Like before we started off air, you had someone here working on your laptop.
Right.
And it's not that you couldn't do that.
Right.
But it would have stopped us from doing what we're doing now.
Right. And I'm extremely computer literate, but I still bring a professional in, because my time is worth something, right? A lot, I think, because I use my brains all day long.
Right.
So I would rather have him use his brains for my laptop rather than me sit there. I can do it, but it's going to take me longer, right? So it's better for him to do
15-minute thing that took you an hour and a half.
Exactly.
Yeah, gotcha.
And it's not going to further my business at all, other than the fact that if my laptop doesn't work properly, I'm in deep, whiny. But,
That's right.
but it's better to pay a professional for what they do. And it took me a long time to learn that, especially when I first started the business because money was, not as plentiful.
Yeah.
So you want to engage somebody that you can call on, even in a part-time situation, that can be sort of a personal assistant and help you. I'll tell you a funny story about that. I have people who work for me, and I delegate to them all the time. And one of them, who's been with me 3 or 4 years now, in the beginning, I would give her tasks to do, and she always acted like she was resented them. So my operations manager at the time, she, by the way, is my operations manager now.
Okay.
But at the time, the operations manager I said, what is her problem? Why is she so upset about doing these tasks for me? And it turned out she wasn't charging me for the time to do them.
Oh.
So she felt like she couldn't charge me, but I'm a client just like anybody else. If I delegate you to do something for me, you need to charge me for that time because I'm paying you for all the time that you work.
So she thought that you were taking advantage of her.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But she never asked.
Ah.
And I just assumed she charged me for it.
Ah.
So that's what happens when you make assumptions. So you want to absolutely delegate anything that is not furthering the objectives and the goals of your business. Now, how do you know that? You set goals and objectives for your business. And that's a whole other topic, and we'll talk about that another time. But for sure, you need to make sure that every single task you do helps you grow your business.
I love it. What's next?
Okay, get a mentor. We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
Get a coach, get a mentor, get a shoulder, get something that you can go to who is objective.
Because whenever you're trying to figure stuff out, always on your phone, talk about, hey, send me a Wi-Fi. I mean, it's like it's almost like trial and error. I feel like I'm in a maze, right? I love that. Tell us about
Well, we all work in a vacuum. All of us small business owners, most of us work out of the house. Most of us live on our phones. We don't see a lot of human contact, which is bad for our social skills. Okay? And we don't have any objective support. Your significant other cares about you too much to be objective, right? Their point of view is skewed. Your kids are not going to help you, right? And you don't want to burden them with stuff. Sometimes you just need to vent, right? Your friends are usually naysayers because they love you and they think you're going to fail.
And you should get a job.
Yeah, they usually get a job. We have more security and a regular, W-2 at the end of the year. Well, there's not a lot of there's some satisfaction in that, and that works for a lot of people. But if you're a self-starter and a problem solver and you like the challenge of being on your own, you want to do this,
Absolutely.
right? And you need somebody who will encourage you to do this, right? And that only comes from an objective outside source.
And so a mentor you are their best enemy.
That's right.
They want to give you information that, again, going back to number 1 and 2,
right.
They're there to make sure you stay on path, right?
Right. They're there to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
They're there to be your shoulder to cry on. They're there to give you advice and help you see the trees in the forest. Because a lot of times we can solve our own problems if we're conscious of the issue. Yeah. A lot of times we're not conscious, right? So if somebody outside can say, yeah, but did you ever think about it this way? All of a sudden you go, oh, it's like a light bulb went on. Yeah. And now I can go and, it's like the weight comes off and I can go be productive and happy again because somebody brought some clarity to my thought process. So you really, really need a coach or a mentor. And everybody who's successful has one. I have one and I'm successful. So everybody has one.
We have one.
Yep, everybody has one. So you need to do it and you need to set money aside for it.
Geez, these all, Leslie, seem incredibly important. What's the next one?
The next one is to clear your desk at least once a week.
Oh, come on.
I know. You can see mine right now. This is not the day for it.
We're going to be thrown away.
Here's the thing. Okay, and I'm going to admit something that if you say I said it, I'm going to deny it.
It is live. We are live.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I still print emails in order to remind me that I have to do something. I know.
You're killing trees.
I know I am. I know I am. But once that's printed, I only handle it one time.
Okay.
So my rule of thumb is if I pick up a piece of paper, I handle it. Now, people younger than me probably don't deal with much paper at all, but I still deal with some amount of paper. And the key is to only handle it once. And I've been that way since, I'm going to tell you, all the way back into the 80s when I first became a supervisor in my private industry. My desk would be covered in paper, and I only handled it one time. And then it either goes in the trash, it goes in filing, it goes somewhere else. Okay, but if you pick it up and put it down, you're wasting time, right?
Yeah.
And if your desk is covered with piles, even if they're neat, especially if they're neatly organized piles.
Wait a second. You saw my desk. They're neatly organized piles, Leslie.
Right. And how many times, how recently have you been through the entire pile, each of those piles?
I would say in the last week. I've been through them.
Right.
Make sure they're organized.
And took actions, and so now you've touched them again.
But see, that's just it. This is a big takeaway for me. Is like I do say, okay, these are like this is for this corporation, this is for this corporation, this is for personal stuff, right? And I put it in those piles, and I've kind of mentally made notes of, okay, this is a date for this, but I haven't. I am doing what you're saying don't do. I've touched this stuff more than once.
Right. It's wasted time.
Yeah.
Completely wasted time. And I'll tell you, I don't use a lot of filing, what do you call it, stack racks and things like that in my day-to-day. And I haven't, again, since the 80s. These are things I've learned years ago. This is not new information, okay? So one way to help keep you from having these stacks is when I do use a rack, it's vertical, right? And I buy folders that have a slash cut out of them so that the papers inside are exposed. So I can see at a glance what's in that folder. So they're stacked up, high, and then I can see what's in there. But I don't leave those very long because if I pick it up, I'm going to do something with it. Those piles on your desk are nothing more than clutter.
Now I know why my wife looks at me the same way every time she comes in the office. And I always have to say, hey, it's my desk, leave it alone.
Well, here's the other thing. My desk looks like a domino. And it does until I go through, until I sit down and go through the papers. Right?
Does it make you not want to touch paper? No, I'm just kidding.
No. But what it makes, but the thing is, that once I have time to address it, I don't touch it.
It's okay.
So it can get kind of chaotic. But then when I sit down and do it, and it's all clean, it's like a big weight again is off. The case of overwhelm the state of overwhelm has to do with too much to do and not organized properly, right? And too much busy work if it's not effective. So if you have a desk that's covered in 3 inches deep of paper or spinners or stuff, right? Then you get a feeling of suffocation. So when you clear it off, you feel like you can breathe.
It does feel good every now and then. So you're saying do that how often?
At least once a week.
Okay, so you're not saying, if you do it every day, fabulous, but that's probably unrealistic.
Right. Well, for most of us, it's unrealistic because we're wearing all these hats, right? There's all this stuff to do. So it's kind of hard to do it all every day because things do pile up. But you don't want to create neat little piles and leave them sit because you won't address the stuff that's in them. It does look good.
Okay,
it's not helping you.
I'm going on there, I promise. I'll get to the touch it once and do something with it. It's not going to be stacked up on my desk.
Yeah. And even if you don't print emails for reminders like I do, you still end up with a lot of paper, right? So contracts, all kinds of stuff.
All right. So, geez, that was painful. Okay.
See, everybody, you know what? This is a perfect case in point, though. We talk all the time about investing in ourselves for knowledge and getting a mentor and a coach, right? You just learned something new, and we've been doing this for how many years, right?
Many years.
So
that's a big one. I'm sure I'm going to get a bill later.
And he probably will. Okay.
I'm not touching that paper, though.
Okay, you can do this.
Number one.
And number one is say no.
Ooh, I like that.
Just say no.
I said no to you today.
You did.
Yeah.
I forgot it was over, but we did. So here's the thing is that, and I just did the newsletter that came out yesterday. It was all about, this was the piece of today's broadcast that I took and expounded upon in the newsletter. So if you don't get the newsletter, please click somewhere on this page and sign up for it or send me an email because we do take this information and pick out pieces and tell you more and more about it. But here's the thing about saying no. When you first start your company, we talk all the time about you need to say yes to all these opportunities. Join the chamber, participate, be out 3 days a week networking, join a charity, do public speaking, do all these things to help build up your brand and your business, right? Okay, pretty soon, once people find out that you're willing to take on and do things, they start delegating to you, right? And pretty soon, you're running 2 full-time jobs. You've got your business and all this volunteer work. And you talk about getting a state of overwhelm. So now you've gotten the habit of saying yes to everything, and it becomes increasingly difficult to say no. Most of us feel guilty if we say no. But I tell you what, nobody cares if you say no.
Really?
That's the truth.
They'll find somebody else.
They'll find somebody who's breathing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It won't make my business go downhill.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Especially because by the time you get to that point, you've got several years under your belt and you're probably getting clients and customers on a regular basis. So it shouldn't hurt you at all, really at all. They'll just go on to the next warm body.
So what's the defining moment? What's that line in the sand to say it's a yes or no?
How it feels inside.
Okay, so it's a feel. It's not necessarily will it drive my business further. So now it's a feel of, you know what? I've said, like as an example, my wife, if she was here, she would say, I say no to a lot of things, but it's usually personal engagement because I'm taking care of business. But that's not the kind of no's we're talking about, are we? We're talking about other things that, like you said, the volunteering, the things in the first part that really got our business going, the volunteering, the joining, and that type of stuff.
Right. I was an ambassador for the chamber for several years. I could no more do that today than a man of money. Not because I don't believe in the chamber. No, I love the chamber, but I don't have time to do that, and it doesn't really help my business now. It did in the beginning because I was meeting other business owners and I was networking and all that stuff, but today, not so much. Right? So.
But Katie, we're not advocating not joining that
No,
chamber.
we want you to join the chamber. I tell everybody.
Critical.
We tell everybody to join the chamber, and they should. I agree. The thing is that everything you do is a drain on your energy and your time, right? So if somebody asks you to do something and it doesn't feel good in your gut, it doesn't something that you immediately say, oh yeah, I want to do that, you need to say no to it. Once you get your business to the point where you can. Right? Because, again, you got to go back to you're going to be busy and you need to be focusing on the tasks, the value-added tasks that help you get your business toward the goals and objectives that you set for it. Right? Yeah. So just say no.
I like it. So we should wrap up today's episode. So let's give us a recap of those top 5.
We always ask for that, and then I have to go back and look and see what I said. Okay.
Oh, by the way, if you like this, below, somewhere on the page, below this, there's a link for this.
For the white paper.
For the white paper. You can download this and get all the details. And so I would highly encourage you to do this. What's that? No, do not say no to this. Take advantage of it. And
say yes to this.
That's right. So go through the list of the top 5.
Calendar all your appointments. Okay. Delegate anything that doesn't further your goals.
Okay.
Get a mentor. Okay. You have to have one. Clear your desk at least once a week, especially if you have piles. And just say no.
Just say no. Well, Leslie, this is fantastic. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, and I think the audience as well. How can people get a hold of you?
Well, you can click right here on Facebook and leave us a message or send me a private message. You can call me at 760-898-9604. You can go to our website at conciergebusinesssolutions.com. There's a lot of S's in there. And then there's a contact us form, and you can contact me through there.
Beautiful. So if you're looking for a business coach, a mentor, you need some software for your business to do some of these things, these tasks that you can delegate to your software, or
education and training.
Education and training, that's right. There's so many things.
We need help with policies and procedures.
That's it.
We need webinars.
Yeah, absolutely. All those things are there. Just go to her website, and under education, you'll see all that there.
Oh, and documents.
I was going to say even forms or documents are available there.
Right.
So go check that out. And in the meantime, have an awesome weekend. We'll see you right back here Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Leslie, thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
I'm Jeff Harrison.
I'm Leslie Spoor.
For X's and O's, and we are out.